You wake up covered in sweat. You don't know what's going on or what happened. Your limbs hurt abnormally and it feels like someone kicked you in your guts. Oh, but the worst part? Your surroundings are unusually warm and somewhat wet until you realize that you're actually laying in a puddle of your own blood.
Now, one of the two things might have happened. Scenario A, you had an epic battle with some evil mafia gang overlord last night, or scenario B, you got your period in the morning. Now, assuming my viewers are not exactly the type to get involved with evil mafia gang overlords, I'm gonna go as far as guessing that scenario B has happened to a whole bunch of you out there. I mean, roughly 30% of the world's population menstruate, and I can see that the majority of my watchers are female, which doesn't automatically mean that y'all have experienced menstruation before, because not all women do, just like the way that menstruation is not only necessarily exclusive to women. Either way, everyone's welcome to watch this video, whether you get periods or not, except if you're gonna be a baby about this. I wouldn't even open the door for you to leave. There is only one way for you to go, and it leads to the dumpster. Getting back to scenario B, a classic. If only you could have prepared yourself for the situation to happen. Oh, but you could have. In the past centuries, a lot of different methods of tracking your cycle have been invented. Some observe similarities within the moon cycle and use that to track everything, while others research the topic of reproductive health and track their cycle using calendars and appearing symptoms. Nowadays, the most common ways of knowing when you'll get your period are period tracking apps, and today, we're gonna talk about those and how awfully intrusive they can be sometimes. Let's just write down the basics of a good, nice, totally fine period tracking app. The first useful thing to have is, of course, a built-in calendar so you can log when your cycle starts and ends. The second thing is the app's ability to predict the time your next cycle will start, so that you can have the third feature, notifications that warn you a couple of days prior. Another useful feature to have is probably some interpretation done by the app, so it can tell you whether your cycle is irregular or perhaps late. Those are the bare basics that an app needs to have to assist people with this issue. You don't necessarily need anything else, but the app that I have been using for 3 years now is over the top very different. I'm not going to say the name of the app, even though I'm not really saying anything necessarily bad about it, but for the sake of this video, let's call it Tulip. Tulip has been a good help to me for quite some time. I have only used its very bare features, but the app offers way more than just that. First of all, Tulip has a bunch of little articles that are curated by healthcare professionals on a broad spectrum of topics. Not only your reproductive health, but also things concerning your body in general. I rarely ever looked into those, but I can see why people might think this is useful. There's also chats and blogs with comments to exchange some experiences regarding certain events and stuff, but at least I think that's what it's meant for, because there's polls and questionnaires and discussions. But hey, like I said, I don't really use that part of the app, and one feature I have discovered recently when doing my research for this video that I have actually never noticed before, so I really don't know how long it's been there, was the option to link your partner's app so that they could see where you're at in your cycle. I was really confused at first because I didn't get the concept, so I thought there must be something LGBT going on, but no, I was wrong. And objectively, I get why you might want that, but at the same time, personally, no thank you. Fun fact, you can also change your background in that app for some unknown reason. But I'm not complaining, I have some cool dolphins going on. There's a lot more useful features. Tulip can make you little reports, and you can set up your goal in the app, for example, if you want to get pregnant or track your pregnancy. But there is one specific feature that has put me in a really weird situations before, and that is the symptoms feature. Besides tracking your monthly cycle, Tulip will regularly ask you to log the symptoms you experience during it so that you might notice certain symptom patterns. And quite frankly, with full honesty, that is a great feature to have. Unfortunately, I'm too lazy to use it, and I can say with full certainty that I have never ever in the 3 years that I've had this app logged any symptoms in it. But Tulip, the greatest helper of them all, Tulip doesn't care. So what does Tulip do in order to help me? One word, notifications. Tulip has 3 different notification types, or at least 3 types that I have observed. Imagine going on about your day just existing when Tulip suddenly goes, "Hey, listen, you're gonna get your period in a couple of days, you should probably prepare." And you're like, "Oh, okay, thanks for reminding me, Tulip." Or a couple of days later, hey, Ruru, you're kinda late. Wanna check the reason, why you're late? And you're like, oh, I should be fine, I'll look into it later. Those are the reminder notifications, the reason you have Tulip in the first place. Good job, Tulip. Other than that, you could be doing something completely random and Tulip might be like, yo, Ruru, wanna read this dope article about ovulation and how it could impact your body? Or, ha, Ruru, you've been loyal for 3 years now. How about a 90% discount and we put a little Easter sale on top? But Easter is months away. Yeah, those are the commercial notifications. Fortunately, you can turn them off. Tulip offers a lot of sales. Like, a lot. Like, more than the usual app does. And, well, the last type of notification has something to do with the symptom pattern thing. And, honestly, just see for yourself.
Hey, Ruru! Today you might feel more motivated and creative. Go for your goals, girl!
Oh, really? Perhaps I should try drawing something.
Hello there! Did you know that right now is the most optimal time to exercise? How about trying a new workout?
What a coincidence. Maybe I should take heavier weights.
Good morning, sunshine! Beware yourself. Today you might get a headache.
Huh? How will you know?
Psst. Psst. Ruru, back pain is no joke. Take it easier today.
Yeah, and then she said,
hello, Ruru. You're going to have diarrhea today.
I in fact did not have diarrhea that day. And yes, the last type of notification simply tries to guess your symptoms. It doesn't matter whether you actually log them or not. Like I said, I have never logged any symptoms in an app. Just to be sure, I asked my best friend who uses the same app whether she gets those, mind you, daily guesses too. And she said yes. This is Editor Ruru speaking, and as it turns out, this is not true and I have overlooked one crucial detail that makes this video all the more complicated. While it is true that I have never consciously logged any symptoms into that app, I completely forgot that once you actually download the app, register, and set everything up, it will prompt you to log some of your symptoms. Now, I'm pretty sure I had the option to skip that part, but considering it was January lockdown time in 2021 and I was dense as shit, instead of ignoring that part, I decided to log every symptom there was. I'm not kidding. Nausea, bloating, fatigue, breast tenderness, backache, headache, even constipation and diarrhea at the same time. Obviously, I compared my app's behavior to other versions of that app where not as many symptoms were logged, and I came to the conclusion that Tulip will probably not send you notifications with symptoms that you haven't logged before. So in the end, even though it's still pretty odd that Tulip makes predictions based off of one day that was 3 years ago, I did that to myself. You can laugh at me, it's okay, but keep it in mind. Me and my best friend Larry, who was bound to be in one of my videos eventually, started asking ourselves whether it's normal to get so many weird notifications or not. So for this video, I have conducted multiple experiments. Since Tulip tries to guess your symptoms almost daily, I thought for a month I would check whether Tulip gets them right or not, or how many it gets right or not. I established a 31-day testing period, and while the app does send you notifications daily, it's not always just about symptoms, and it might send you like 2 notifications in a day as well. In this time period, I got 1 reminder and 4 mass campaign ads. Tulip tried guessing my symptoms 24 times. I might have missed 2 notifications because the math doesn't quite add up, but you know, maybe Tulip just gave up those 2 days. Out of 24 guesses that Tulip has attempted, it got 2 correct. That is a whopping 8.3% people, despite never logging any symptoms. Around 10% of the world's population are left-handed, by comparison. But that's all based on my research, and depending on whether I log the symptoms or not, or maybe like cycle-wise, I might get different results, so, you know. I am so glad that I actually made a video on this, because this video idea has been sitting in my head for a while now, and I feel that it's very important to destigmatize this topic, and this thing especially because I rarely see anyone ever talk about it. Maybe I should program my own app and actually call it Tulip. Let's see how many of you like that idea. What are your guys' experiences? Have you had any embarrassing moments due to an app like that too? Don't hesitate to discuss it in the comments, as my channel is a safe space for those who experience everything mentioned in this video and more. And yes, even those who have epic battles with gang leaders. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say for this video. Check out my other social media on Instagram, where I try to post pretty regularly to update you guys about my life. And perhaps my Twitter, where I like to post unhinged things also about my life. Other than that, I love you guys. Have a nice year. Good year 2024. I don't know what I'm talking about. I love you guys, and adios.